Welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. Today, we're breaking down a major escalation in the Middle East, the crisis that exploded when an American warplane was shot down over Iran. But before we get into it, if you want to stay on top of events like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. So this is where it all kicks off. This single urgent report hits the wires. An F-15E fighter jet is down, deep inside Iran. And the critical part? 2 people were on board, and a high-stakes race against time was officially on. Let's set the scene. The date is April 3rd, 2026. The conflict has been simmering for weeks, but the downing of this jet, well, that just pushed everything into a much more dangerous phase. Okay, so let's get into the specifics. The plane was an F-15E Strike Eagle, part of the 494th Fighter Squadron. It had a 2-person crew, a pilot, and a weapons system officer, often called a WSO, and they went down in a really rugged mountainous part of Iran. Now look, unmanned drones had been lost before, sure, but this was a whole different ballgame. It was the first time a crewed American jet was actually brought down by enemy fire in this conflict, and that right there, that's a huge deal. It immediately calls U.S. air superiority into question. You have to understand, the second that jet goes down, one of the most complex and dangerous military operations imaginable is set in motion. It's an all-out race to get that crew back. This kind of operation has a name, CSAR, or Combat Search and Rescue. And let me tell you, this is not just sending in a helicopter to pick someone up. We're talking about a massive, coordinated effort with tons of different teams and aircraft, all operating under incredible risk, deep inside enemy territory. And they threw pretty much everything they had at this mission. I mean, just look at this list. You've got Pave Hawk rescue helicopters, Combat King 2 planes for refueling, A-10s flying cover, Reaper drones watching from above, and of course, elite special operations forces on the ground. A full-scale operation was absolutely underway. And pretty quickly, we get some good news, or at least half good news. A special forces team on the ground successfully finds and extracts the pilot. He's alive, he's safe, but his WSO, he's still out there. But you know, a mission this deep inside enemy territory was never going to be that easy. The rescue force itself quickly became a target, and the whole situation on the ground got a lot more complicated really fast. And here's the kicker. In the chaos of that one single day, the U.S. didn't lose 1 aircraft. They lost 2. So let's break this down. The first loss was, of course, the F-15E. The second was an A-10 Warthog. And the really painful irony here is that the A-10 was hit while it was flying protection for the rescue operation trying to save the F-15E crew. Now, thankfully, the A-10's pilot was also recovered safely. Think about this for a second. The Pave Hawk rescue helicopters. They flew straight into a wall of small arms fire. Reports said they took multiple hits, some crew members were wounded, but incredibly, they still finished their part of the mission and got back. So, for the next 48 hours, with the WSO still missing, this desperate 2-sided hunt kicks off. You have 1 American airman, and he is now the focus of 2 entire nations, with opposite goals. The reality on the ground was just incredibly tense. On one side, you've got U.S. Special Ops using every high-tech piece of gear they have to find and rescue him. And on the other, you have Iran mobilizing not just its security forces, but also its own people, turning the whole thing into a national manhunt with one single goal: capture him. And to really get civilians involved, Iranian state media started broadcasting a cash reward. The bounty on the American pilot's head was reportedly $60,000 US. Meanwhile, back in Washington, this thing went all the way to the top. This simple, brief confirmation from the White House press secretary, well, it tells you everything you need to know about how serious this was. This wasn't just another incident on the battlefield. It was a major international crisis. All right, so this all leads us to the final dramatic act. After 2 days on the run, the mission to bring the WSO home is about to reach its explosive conclusion. Just try to imagine what this was like for the WSO. For 48 straight hours, he's alone on the ground in hostile territory, putting years of elite survival and evasion training, what they call SERE, to the ultimate test, constantly moving to avoid being captured. And right when the rescue team finally makes contact with him, they realize they are not alone. As one journalist, Jack Murphy, reported, a massive firefight just erupted. The Iranians knew he was there, and they were closing in from all sides. So here's how the final moments went down. U.S. Special Forces get to the WSO, but they basically have to fight their way out. Under intense fire from Iranian forces, they manage to grab the airman, get him on board, and pull out of hostile territory. Against all odds, the entire crew was recovered alive. So, that leaves us with the big question, right? The rescue itself was an incredible tactical victory. They got their people back. But the fact that Iran was able to shoot down 2 advanced American aircraft in a single day raises some really serious questions. What does this change? What does it signal for the next phase of this conflict? That's our breakdown for you today. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this valuable, please help us grow by hitting the like, share, and subscribe buttons for the Global WarWatch Network. But we want to hear from you. What do you think about that final question? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and come join our community on social media for more. All the links you need are in the description.